that grip. So I think that they're way behind on the volumes. And I don't believe that 90% of these should be volleying with one hand. So when they volley with one hand, they go into a semi-western grip and block the ball way out because they don't have strength. So what I would going to recommend is two hands and then 2-to-1. If you look at a lot of the pros today, a lot of them right up here with two hands, especially at this age. This age, they're not set up to volley with one hand. I don't see any of them strong enough to hit with a continental forehand and a backhand.
So both forehand and backhand, two hand?
No, one hand on the forehand and then two hand. And also, 99% of all the coaches of the world feed the first ball to the forehand. Think of what I'm telling you. They feed the first ball here. Well, if we feed the first ball here and they got their left hand on, they have a chance. But if they have this grip and then they try to volley with one hand from the backhand, they can't do it. So that's why they're a little bit behind on the volleys. And we're not saying they're being taught incorrectly. I'm just telling you my philosophy is that when you can't control the racket because of your size and everything, then you have to compensate a little bit. And the other things that I see is that they come to the ball and the butt of the racket disappears too quickly. So what we try to do, no matter what grip they have, even in the Dell grip, exaggerate, stop. Then after they go out, then they can take whatever follow through they want. But when you go from the ball and take a sharp turn and pull it in, the ball will have a lot of spin and no penetration at all. Everett couldn't break an egg with a two-handed backhand, but she never missed. So a lot of the times I go back to the old-fashioned Everett backhand, turn, hit, no follow-through, just stay there, just stay there. Then stay there and you start using a little bit more left hand and come back to here. But a lot of them do. Andy Murray, their elbows on here. When they finish that two-handed backhand, their elbows are here. If the elbows drag, this is when you start using in here, you're not snapping. So you have to learn how to work backwards with the kids to go forward. And you go back to some of the, also, too many of the kids here are hitting too open, much too open. You want a semi-open is good. Now, if they hit an open stance, you don't hit an open stance this way. You hit an open stance this way with the outside knee in with the shoulder turn. If you hit an open stance with the shoulders open, all you're going to do is snap at the ball. So in the beginner's level, I kind of like no more than a semi-open stance. And then each kid, you work with differently. I've read a book lately, and a man said if you take 10,000 kids and give them the same 10,000 hours, all of them will end up champions. Well, he ain't worked with a million kids like I have, okay? The main thing is everybody can get better, yes, but there's only one champion in the world. How the hell can you have 100,000 champions? No way. But, if you go back to the old-fashioned way of that long follow-through to exaggerate with the student, and then the best way to teach racket head speed is to get a bucket. Sit on the bucket and have the student learn how to hit racket head speed. Now, when you're sitting in the bucket, you're not going to roll your shoulder. Watch now what happens. Here's where the racket head speed comes, and now the palm is to the outside. Then you've used racket head speed. That's where you get the power from. When the palm of the hand is to the outside. A lot of the kids with the two-handed backhand should be practicing with one hand. Agassi made a living at the academy beating most of the people with just one hand. So what you want to do is get into your two hands, take your bottom hand off, and learn how to hit the backhand, because this is the hand that does all the action. The bottom hand holds the racket for support. The other thing I see on the backhands here is too many of them are hitting the backhands with the same grip that they're hitting the forehand with. So that when that happens, you'll see a tremendous wrist layback. Now, even though Venus and Serena lay back the wrist, they don't have forehand grips. Now, Jelena Jankovic, who's one of the best backhands in the world, she's close to an Eastern grip, but a very weak Eastern grip. So these are the things that I see with the kids that are really basic things. The ready position, nothing more important than here. If you start out here, by the time you get ready to move, the ball already is past you. And tennis is what we call a quick reaction sport. So if you start off with a good ready position, you have more of a chance to get your first step to the ball and also defend. All right, I see another group now, don't I?
Yep.
All right, next group. Back.
How are you doing? Good.
He's going over too much for a two-handed backhand.
Okay.
Bottom hand is too strong.
Okay.
This is for one hand.
Okay.
Because what happens is this hand and this hand are fighting. So either the coach should get him into that grip or go two hands to one. This time hit with your grip and finish with one hand. Okay, try it. No, hit with two and finish with one. Go ahead. Hit with two and finish with one. Finish with one hand. Add up. Try it. Go ahead. Hit with two. Perfect. Not so hard. Do it again. See? Good ball. Now just end up out in front. Not around your head. Easy. Easy. Very good. Two hands to one. Go ahead. Try it. Two to one. Good. Now go two hands again. Pay attention. Pay attention. This one. That one. Ready? That's what I want you to do. The coach should take his bottom hand and move him into a continental to a weak Eastern.
Okay.
But if the coach allows him to continue with this grip, one hand is going to do the other hand, and very much more difficult when the ball is below your waist. Okay? Very good, sir.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
All right.